Wait, okay, there we go. Fantastic. Now, we better welcome people to the podcast. Welcome along to episode number 10 of the Opinionated Podcast. It's 10 fucking podcasts already. Hey.
Monumental achievement.
Monumental. What's that? 2.5 months. Oh, wow. Let's not break it down. This sounds worse when you break it down.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2.5 months. We've been mentioning for the last couple of weeks that we have something in the works that has kind of come to fruition. So to honor that, we are going to run a bit of a competition.
Where's the drum roll?
So yeah, the big reveal is we now have Opinionated Podcast mugs. I just headbutt the microphone.
that fit perfectly. It's like mugs.
That yeah, more a failure than anything. But yeah, we now have Opinionated Podcast mugs. To celebrate it.
Sorry.
To celebrate
people
it,
see
we want to.
Not on Spotify,
to celebrate this, we're going to give away one free mug to one of our listeners. To be in with a chance, all you have to do is like, share, subscribe, do something. Just let us see your name somewhere. That's how we'll send it out to you.
We'll find you somehow or another.
Find you somehow.
A very sophisticated raffle.
Yeah, exactly.
We know where you live.
Long-winded way of saying that we have a free mug to give away, and then
free mug, and it's actually like we're kind of underselling ourselves here. These mugs are class, like they
are pretty good.
Fully, if people can hear that.
Oh yeah.
They're Opinionated Podcast enamel mugs, with a steel rim around the top.
From the olden days.
If anything but a good cup, it's a good defense mechanism anyway, in case you're getting robbed or mugged.
It's like give that man a cup there for that joke.
Please, sir, just one.
Yes, it actually is a good defense mechanism. You can imagine someone breaking into your house and then, you know what I mean?
It's indestructible.
Solid Spanish infrastructure right there.
There you go. So there you go. Do what you have to do to get the mug. If you want the mug. No, you do want the mug. You do want it.
Definitely do want the
lovely mug. It's a lovely
free mug. It's a free mug.
Who doesn't want a free mug? Especially of this high quality standard.
Exactly.
Come on.
Oh, well, that's that out of the way. Do you want to crack into the topic, so?
Oh, God.
Let's get right to the news.
Oh, wow.
You all right, Matthew? Yeah.
You okay this week?
It's been a bit of a shit week, Jimmy.
Yeah. How are you doing? God. How are you doing, Matthew? Are you okay?
I'm hanging in there, pal. I'm hanging in there. Going with the motions, as they say.
I think fucking lockdown 2.0 has slightly got you a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's like you're kind of starting to notice a few tweaks. Like it's like, ooh, like, you know, it's getting to me, man. You know, I'm being like nostalgic and remembering the days of March. Like, good Jesus, it wasn't that long ago, but it feels like a lifetime ago. Having a bit of normality.
Actually, do you remember when Trump was impeached? That was this year.
Oh,
yeah, that's insane.
And half of Australia tried to burn itself down as well. So that was also this year.
Jeez, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
And didn't Boris get elected this year? As well? Like, that seems like he's been in power for bloody ages.
Was it this year? It was the end of last year, was it?
Possibly. But it feels like it's still this year. This year just seems to be going on for a decade.
We just fucking attach that bit of Boris getting elected onto 2020. Like, it might as well go away.
It may as well, yeah. Just shit storm that we've had this year.
Yeah, honest to God.
Oh God! Speaking of shitstorms,
Oh.
we had
Do
the
like
vote of
myself
no
a good
confidence.
ocean.
we had the vote of no confidence in Mr. Varadkar this week. The Taoiseach. No, sorry, Taoiseach this week.
Yeah.
I'll never get
It
old.
was. Yeah, I don't think he's going to get past that one.
Not really.
Yeah, it was unsurprisingly defeated.
Yeah. It's just,
Boo.
I don't know. Like
The sound effects this week.
I make a soundboard actually. Oh, that'd be fucking gas.
our guest on the podcast this week, that sound guy from Police Academy.
Woo!
Yeah. Varadkar, I don't know. Well, he was never going to lose to no confidence because there's not enough backbone in the Dáil to get rid of him.
Well, they need him.
Yeah, to do, actually.
The government is so fragile at the minute. I think if you take such a kind of quote unquote formidable character out of that scene,
oh dear.
You lose a lot of. Oh yeah, he's a great guy. No, you lose a lot of stability. That's already a very unstable government as well. Like they're clutching at straws, really.
They're starting to struggle a little bit now, aren't they? Like, because their top cheerleader there, like Varadkar, was under a lot of pressure last week and was found out. Let's be honest, by especially by Pierce Doherty, like we mentioned last week. Like it just wasn't even a contest. But I don't know. I don't see anything happening. I don't see anything good going to come of this government.
I think it can only get worse. Like, if anything, they've just proven that the future politicians of Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael are going to get away with holy murder as well. Like they can still pass around the brown envelopes, get a few jobs for the boys, still keep that cronyism going. It just doesn't provide any kind of hope for change whatsoever. It's just going to be a recurring cycle of old-fashioned cronyism, as it were.
There's going to be no change. They're not going to change.
I think there's an awful lot of hypocrisy there as well, though, with the way, like, in a sense that 2 years ago, Leo forced Dennis Naughton to resign over similar enough situation, like, you know. And then 2 years down the line, he's accused. It's not even accused. He admits to doing more or less the same thing and refuses he did it. Like, he refuses to step down or whatever. You know, I think that's just serious hypocrisy there. Like,
it's astounding. He has a lot of arrogance personally, Varadkar. As a person,
that's
a lot of arrogance.
Evident. Like,
he could be a nice fella. I don't know. I never met him, but like he does carry an awful lot of arrogance as a politician.
Yeah, big time.
It's like Martin's not capable of arrogance. Like, do you know what I mean? You know what I mean, though. Like, it's like Martin's just not. Arrogance would just be another like thing added to what he can't do at the minute. Like, you know.
Yeah, like he's barely capable.
I'd love to just try and I'd love to see him now just try and be arrogant now and see like where that gets him. Because his recent shenanigans have just kind of haven't done him any favors, really.
Yeah, Martin's been pretty quiet.
He has, actually,
hasn't
he? He can't really say anything though, because anything he says could be used against him in a court of law. No, but like he can't really do. He has to just sit on his laurels, I think, for a while anyway, at least until this kind of dies over. Like,
he has to just ride the waves, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. But that's not doing anything to improve Irish politics. Nothing to improve the situation in Ireland with the homeless crisis, the mother and baby bill that kind of has just gone with the wind, all of a slap, and like direct provision was pushed or not pushed in Parliament or in the Dáil even, but like by grassroots organisations to try and get rid of it and to try and address the problem. That seems to be gone as well. So there's nothing. Everything is kind of being swept away with just kind of pig ignorance.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I'd agree. Definitely agree.
Which is
that-
a no
it's-
bueno.
Especially the direct provision. Like I just do not understand it. Like I don't get it. Do you know what I mean? And it's been just I don't know. Would you say like every youth wing of parties and grassroots organizations and people on the street are just wanting to get rid of it, and they will
Yeah.
not listen. They just
No.
will not fucking listen. You know what I
No.
mean? It's inhumane. It's terrible. We've seen with coronavirus, it impacts them as much as nursing homes. Really, you know, you're living
If
in
not worse.
shit housing with shit food, and you're being treated like nothing, and
Yeah.
they just will not listen to it. Like.
Especially when a lot of them are like sacrificing their lives. I saw an article there on Instagram, I think it was last week, about how people who were living in direct provision centres that were like volunteer to work in like hospitals and fight the virus in our country. Like these are the people that are looking for a future, to settle here, to work here, to raise a family here, and they're being treated like inhuman, like they're literally being treated like animals. It's a disgrace, really. Like to not even address it. I haven't heard a single member of Fine Gael or Fianna Fáil, or at least a prominent one anyway, address anything in relation to it. Just even mentioning it, like
yeah, I was just going to say they're afraid to say the words direct provision. Like they're afraid to say it because they know they've done it.
Yeah,
and they know that
okay.
They can't be asked to change it.
Yeah, there's one thing knowing though that you fucked up, right? Okay, everyone makes mistakes. This is a fairly fucking big one, of course, but like the least you can do, the smallest amount of like compassion that you can have, is to just address it. Listen, right, we're in a bit of a pickle with COVID, but this is our plan for the year ahead, to have some kind of game plan. There's no game plan with this government in relation with direct provision, in relation with anything going forward. It's literally just survival at the minute. And I think it's only going to be survival until the next general election comes along, and they're going to get a fairly big fright, hopefully, when the results of that come out.
Yeah, definitely. Like I think that's just the narrative of this government. Like it's just get by. Like, but that's even clear to see with the latest restrictions that were brought in once this government was formed. Like this, the 5-tier system. Like as they were making the announcement, they broke the restrictions themselves. Like, you know, they changed them as they were announcing them. Like, so they can't even follow their own. That's it. Like,
I don't know. They're just a bit. I don't like. I as I say here, I can't see anything good coming. I can't see anything good happening. Like this government's not capable of anything revolutionary or like even fucking revolutionary, but basic standard governance. Like, you know what I mean? And like I just don't see it. And I hope it translates into votes. But as us being Ireland, we seem to always vote the same fucking way.
Yeah, as can be seen with the popularity polls at the minute. Like, I think it's... I'm not sure of the current up-to-date one, but the one of a couple of weeks ago, prior to the vote of no-confidence, showed like Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil are right up there.
Again.
Still, yeah. Sinn Féin, I think, is number 2, and I think Fianna Fáil was number 3 or 4, or Fianna Fáil even. So like it's still pretty much the same in terms of the polls, but obviously that can change. Polls are only a guideline, as it were, as we can see in America and all that. But
our polls are fairly accurate here, though. To be fair, they have a good track record.
Yeah, they're spot on. But like, I don't know, there just seems to be kind of a sense of they can do as they see fit. Not to a dictator proportion, but like there isn't anyone that's other than Sinn Féin that's going to actually say, listen, you're actually wrong in this situation. you have to fix it. There's no urgency in Irish politics at the minute, other than the opposition. But the opposition can only do so much to actually criticize it. There's no like overarching body, like let's say Congress or something, that could like say, listen here, you're fucking up, change it or get out.
Yeah.
Not saying that we need a Congress. I think like we're pretty capable of solving things, but not
like,
at the minute, it seems.
I'm sure it's pretty hard for the opposition, for the main party in opposition, to actually fulfill the role when you have a party like Fianna Fáil in government, or not Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael in government, constantly berating Sinn Féin. They've become absolutely 100% obsessed with trying to belittle Sinn Féin. Like
Sinn Féin are definitely rent free in Fine Gael's fucking heads in there. Like.
They really are. Like
public
like,
enemy number one.
It's a bit of a fucking joke. Like I understand. We all, three of us here understand politics is a dirty game. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
What was it? Like there must have been 16, 17 fucking videos last week about this and that, about Sinn Féin, this Sinn Féin, that Sinn Féin. It's like, don't worry about Sinn Féin. Just don't fucking worry about them. Like, if you do good and you do your thing, no one's going to fucking vote for them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The reason they're voting for them is not because of your silly fucking videos. It's because you're not doing a job. Like, and I also find it quite funny how they're like, they're going on to Sinn Féin about like, this needs to be done and we're going to do this and that needs to be done. It's like, yeah, but Sinn Féin are not the reason we have a homeless crisis, nor are they the reason we have direct provision or that we ran into numerous fucking bank collapses. Like, you're the reason. Like, you know what I mean? Sinn Féin haven't done anything yet. And look, they could come in and be fucking useless. But you cannot blame them for the situation we're in at the minute. Like,
No.
So it's moral high ground. It's coming out of our arses. Like,
yeah. Like, I think this argument that they keep bringing up about, look at how Sinn Féin are performed in the north. Like, I think that's utterly irrelevant.
It's a different fucking jurisdiction with a
it's
power
also an
sharing
entirely
government.
different government. Yeah, it's completely unrelated.
Yeah, like has absolutely no bearing whatsoever on government in the Republic. It operates totally differently. When everything comes from Westminster, when it's a sub-government, it's fucking, and a power sharing sub-government with a party who are hell-bent on doing anything that Sinn Féin want, and doing the total opposite of what Sinn Féin want. But
if Fine Gael or Fianna Fáil think they can sort out the north, go on then, go up and do it.
Just go, yeah. They don't have a cross.
They don't have the balls to do it in the first place.
No.
Fianna Fáil at that, a couple of years ago, were on about, we might go an All-Ireland party. They couldn't do it if they fucking tried. You can imagine me, Martin, working with Arlene Foster. That's going to fucking work, alright, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like,
Jesus Christ.
She'd walk all
Matty
over.
McGrath.
Yeah.
Matty McGrath, like.
Yeah, Willie O'D walking down to fucking Stormont, like,
That'd be a scene.
But like, they need to stop. They need to stop going, oh look, the north is shit. Like, the north is not. Like, the north has some wonderful things in it and wonderful people. It's just that two parties can't get along. With Fine Gael needs just like, it's not Ireland or it's not Britain. It's Northern Ireland with a completely different fucking. Sorry, I'm getting kind of just annoyed at that.
I could just see the caption. The gang goes to Stormont, like from always in Philadelphia. Like, Jesus Christ, it's actually a shambles. It's an absolute joke. Like,
yeah,
it's just this moral high ground. Like, how can you have it? Like, where does it come from? You know what I mean?
It's because they have all the power, like, to do so. Like, they're in no position to like go, oh, actually, no, we made a mistake. We're so sorry. No, because they are number one, so they can do whatever they very well please and get away with it because that's just the way it is. However much I fucking despise it, but like, what can be really done other than another general election, and more than likely is going to be a coalition again because we can't get just a one-party government.
It's a shame.
Yeah, it is.
It's so frustrating.
I have a hunch the last time I mentioned this before, I think on the podcast, but like I have a hunch that had Sinn Féin run double the amount of candidates, we would have a Sinn Féin government.
Yeah,
and
but
I
like
think an awful lot.
their popularity was quite low running into that like election.
Oh,
Do you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
It came as quite a surprise. I didn't actually see it coming, really, but
Yeah.
Even if you were to anticipate it, though, there was no way of you knowing that you were going to be like that much of
breaking
an
records,
increase.
like.
Yeah, like it's like, okay, yeah, there might be like a 5-10% increase, but like this was like
Substantial.
revolution. Yeah, like never before seen, probably since like the 1920s. Like
yeah, like I mean, Wexford, like Johnny Myden is Wexford's first TD since 1922, is it?
It was 100
right
years.
there,
1918.
1918 then.
Yeah.
There you go, like 100 years since we had it, since Wexford has had a Sinn Féin.
Absolutely blew the polls apart. Like he was on nearly 20,000 votes. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's absolutely crazy. I also have an idea. I think that the reason Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael got so many votes as well is because that people don't fully understand how to vote properly. I don't think people understand how transfers work. So like, it's not just like when you go to vote, it's not just it doesn't just matter who your number one is. It matters who your number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down the list is as well.
Yeah.
So like, if you don't want to have Fianna Fáil or Fine Gael back in government,
don't vote for them.
Put them on your ballot. Don't put them on the ballot.
Not even.
No matter how much of a people pleaser you are, do not put them on the ballot.
Yeah, nobody's gonna know. Nobody sees your ballot sheet. Like,
yeah. No, I think though it's a major problem in Ireland, like about politics and education. Like there is very little in the education system all the way up, even in college to a certain extent, on how our political system works. Like we yourself, Tom, and myself did the Irish politics in, was it first year or second year? Now that was an excellent module, but like other than that, really, that was really it. In terms of Irish politics. Now, obviously, we probably could have done.
We had a world-renowned lecturer as well, though. To be fair, like
good old David Farrell. But going back to my point, like CSPE did nothing really for me in terms of like, we know who Ban Ki-moon is, and the there's nothing in like, because especially it's a big thing for other countries, like especially America, like they know how their system works from essentially when they're born, and like all the way up. Here, it's kind of accepted that you should know how to vote, and it's a complicated system for someone who doesn't understand how it works. And
also complicates, like incorporate the Shannon and the position of president in that as well. Like, you know,
exactly. There needs to be a little bit more emphasis on how our state works, especially in like the likes of CSP. CSP is a mockery of a subject anyway at the minute. They were thinking of bringing in, I think, I don't think it was a politics, so to speak, subject in secondary school, but some sort of like CSP-esque.
Fucking a real world fucking subject, like, you know what I mean?
Something that actually makes some sort of a difference.
Not a throwaway.
Drawing posters for fucking bake sales, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's,
Jesus Christ, like I think the closest thing I remember doing in CSP with regards to politics or anything like that, the closest thing that would have actually been anyway beneficial was a mock election that we did, and even at that, it was so vague.
I'd like to say that I won that mock election.
Yeah, you fucking beat me. Devastated.
Yeah. I think I promised everything, literally everything under the sun, and they did nothing about it.
Typical Fianna Fáil politics there. Oh God.
Well, yeah, no, it's simpler times. But no, like even if you were to have a slight improvement of CSP for junior cert level, and then have some sort of a more advanced class for leaving cert. Nothing too extreme now. We don't want to start like
you're not doing lifeboat theory or anything.
No, like, Jesus, I don't. To be honest, even when we were doing that, it was a struggle. But no, keep it simple. Just like there has to be some sort of educating system in place to actually make people aware of how to vote, especially when it means so much in this day and age, like who you're actually voting for.
Yeah, I think it's as important to like distinguish how to vote and what your vote means. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like voting for the lad who lives across the road from you, like, could have serious repercussions in formation of a government. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
We need to get away from this fucking localism and brokerage and all that shit. Like, you know.
Yeah, like Ireland is too small for that kind of thing. Like,
yeah,
the Irish, the way Ireland is set up, like, the whole country can be looked after from government, and not just local government. It can be from government. So if you get the party that you think will do that job you're going to benefit that way. It's more important than getting, say, a TD for your local area, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
looking nationally has to be done as well. Like,
yeah, people need to look a lot more nationally, and even if you do want to vote in a local TD, like, all right, put them number 2, or put them maybe number 2. Now, I know you're getting into you're kind of getting into dodgy territory again there, like, but
yeah, but you have to
be
think
an
of the
awful lot of
wider
thought.
picture. Like, you know what I mean? The number one on your ballot paper doesn't end with that person. Like, it has, you know what I mean? You think of the party, and you know what I mean? Their party stance and stuff like that. Like,
yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, a vote for Richard Boyd Barrett is not a vote for Richard Boyd Barrett. It's a vote for, fucking fun
People
times.
for
Like, you know what I mean?
Go on for the crack here. Might as well write down a number. Yeah, but like, then again, like, I don't know. That can also have negative effects depending on who you're voting for. Like, there's a time to be lackadaisical, and that's one of them. But it's important to be careful, I think.
Like, you need to put a little bit of thought into it, I think. Like, I it's not just a matter of walking into the polling station and saying, "Oh yeah, I'm voting for them." That's it. Like, you kind of do have to think about it a little bit, and read up on who you're voting for, because ultimately it will affect you in some way.
Yeah.
Just a question though: do people actually really care? Because there seems to be a good few people now that are just completely ignorant and just blissfully ignorant to politics in Ireland, because it doesn't concern them.
I genuinely think that those people who don't care are not at the very bottom. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's just the people in like direct provision. They care because every minute fucking thing a government does affects them. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real. Like, the middle class doesn't really matter unless Sinn Féin get in, which would rattle their fucking purses. Like, you know what I mean? But like, working class people probably do care, but then the education thing comes in, that they're maybe afraid of voting or not bothered to vote because they don't know the power. Like,
yeah, I mean, like, I think in the last couple of years, people think they have an interest in it, but when it actually comes to it, they don't take enough interest in it to look into it a bit more. Like, they see the headline, they see a news story about a certain party or whatever, and they say, "Oh Jesus, that'll work for me." But like, an awful lot of what I find is that a lot of people who voted for Sinn Féin the last election, they voted for them for the wrong reasons. Like, there's an awful lot of these people I'm talking about. They
get a free gaff.
Yeah, free gaff. That's one thing I saw floating around a good lot in the last election. Like, and that's not the case. Like they're looking at providing social housing. Like, it's not a free house for everybody. Like,
I think there was an element of sheeple as well when it came to Sinn Féin, especially among the younger generations, because I think.
Sorry, I hate that phrase.
Yeah, to be honest, my stomach kind of churned there just as I said it. But like, people that just go with the flow. I think especially when a lot of young people who are interested in politics were voicing their opinion, and they realised, oh right, Sinn Féin seems to be the most popular of the lot. Right, I'm going to go vote Sinn Féin, without actually knowing what their policies or their plans were. I think that's an element as well of just ignorance, and just even like I think as well this year alone has kind of highlighted the vast amounts of like sites out there that can educate you, especially around the whole Black Lives Matter movement in America, we saw like thousands, millions Instagram stories, hashtags, everything of information to be shared and to be learned. So there is opportunity there, I think, to broaden on that, because it is important to become more aware of what's going on, and not to be ignorant to it, because like it's important, especially like you can't be self-centered in this day and age. Other things are affecting other people in a much more dramatic way than yours. It's all right for me sitting at home, like living a happy old life, while someone else might be struggling. So like you have to be considerate of everyone else in your country and the world.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of the world, sorry,
and be kind.
Exactly. That's the simple thing. Like,
be kind.
Sorry, Jack.
No, you're grand. No, sorry. No. I'm not hurt. Don't worry about it.
I stole your thunder there.
I had a perfect segue lined up there, and you just ruined it.
So what about this world, Jack?
Speaking of the world, or more so, the new world. We'll cross back to the states. Stateside. Mr. Trump has made a disappearance really until last night.
He was still golfing. Still trying to get that perfect albatross there, like, you know.
But what a reappearance he made. He almost admitted defeat, and he's showing up with grey hair.
Yeah, his hair just changed colour in a week. Like.
I saw a tweet there earlier on. His hairdresser conceded before he did.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's a proper fucking shit show, isn't it? Like the world's moved on. Like all the world leaders like are going off fair play, Joe. Like, you know, can't wait to work with him. Like, you know, he's still like full caps locks, just tweeting absolute nonsense. Like, you know what I mean? Like the man just hasn't an ounce of fucking grace in his body. Like, has he?
No,
not at all. Not at
like,
all.
All he had to do was go, all right, look, you know, Joe. He could have even called him Sleepy Joe. He could have done that. I wouldn't have minded. He could have went, here, Sleepy Joe, come on up to the White House. I'll shake your hand and get out. Like, you know what I mean? That's all he had to do.
Yeah.
You can't even do that.
You might be suffering from PTSD over the whole Russian interference with the last election, that he's actually fully believing that the Dominion, the voting system company, is somehow in cahoots with Joe Biden.
It's so ironic though, because like the last election was rigged by the Russians in Trump's favor, and now he's claiming that it's rigged against him. Like,
sure. What I can't understand is that like the Senate votes and Congress are not rigged, but the votes for him are rigged, which are on the same ballot paper, counted by the same people in the same states.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I don't know how you can commit half fraud. Is that possible?
Yeah, semi fraud.
It's like you vote Republican the whole time and then just put down Biden for no reason.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, like, but sure, like most of the states where there's lawsuits, they're just throwing them out now because
they have so much money to do so as well. You can just here, have a lawsuit. Fuck it, it's like pennies to me anyway. So
but like
especially for Trump,
he's completely entitled to like challenge things and like ask for recounts and stuff, but. You know, when I saw on NBC, bloody hell, CNN the other day that they got like this apparent proof from Trump's legal team of thousands of cases of voter fraud, and it was like a stack of paper like as tall as me. And your mom was like, "This is literally just listing voters that voted after election day legally." Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's just such a waste of paper. Like,
what a waste of time! Like,
apparently he loves doing that as well. Like that. He just like even he walked out on an interview a few weeks ago, and he brought in like he asked an aide to bring in his healthcare plan, and it was just like literally blank pieces of paper, like, you know what I mean,
in a massive ring binder.
Yeah. I'm kind of echoing, I think, am I?
Yeah, there's an echo coming from somewhere. I'm not sure. It's gone now. I think we're okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It might be me.
Yeah, it's becoming beyond a joke now at this stage.
Yeah.
Do you hear the rumors circulating that Trump and Melania are getting a divorce?
That's been coming now for a while, I think, since about 2016 by the looks of things. I wouldn't be surprised she does a runner now to Sleepy Joe or someone further afield for the money's lying.
You just know she's just going to be like a hippie or something when she comes out, isn't she? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's going to be like sitting on the White House, you know, like peace and love, man. You know what I mean? I feel really sorry for her though, because I'd say she's not like, her character is probably not the greatest, but at the same time, living with him must do your fucking nut too, like, you know.
It must do. Like, if he's anything like he is in the public eye, like he must be painful to live with. Like,
yeah, I always thought of her as like the kind of the traditional kind of like Ibsen doll's house type, just like trapped in a kind of a play world esque in a real world though.
I love how you just reference some literature there, and I actually know what you're talking about.
Hey, leaving start English.
What a painful fucking book.
Oh yeah. Do not miss it.
The Macaroons, boy. The Macaroons.
Got him in the end.
It's all in the Macaroons.
Always hide your Macaroons. That's what we're going to call this podcast.
I'm going to write that down. We're sure we could cross to our to the opponent, the president-elect. We got some some local news lately with regards to Mr. Biden. Wait until you see it. Wait till you see now. Once presidential visits start again, Wexford will be
boom.
They'll be jumping on that fucking bandwagon straight away. Like
Sleepy
Plaza, yeah.
Sleepy Joe will be down in the Irish Pride fucking factory down there, just like taking a photo up with the new half batch. You know what I mean? Like,
for anyone who doesn't know, it was Biden's grandmother, was it? Great grandmother. Apparently,
I'll tell you now, Jack. I'll tell you, she's a roach from the month. That's what she is. She's a roach.
The roaches, jeez.
Didn't they do know him?
Yeah. Just tell you how Sleepy Joe comes from the month. You know that now.
Came from Grandstock, so I did. Grandstock.
I'd love to see him coming over though. I think that would be some crack. Like post-COVID, everything's back. You know, we're all fucking vaccinated against it. Like we're all just going Sleepy Joe, Sleepy Joe.
Joe's back. 2021 looking exciting.
The Biden's back, baby.
Wow. I can just imagine though, like I can see a certain local councillor from near us moving to Timon if there's even a sniff. You know what I'm talking about. Won't mention his name.
He probably sold Mrs. Roach a pair of fucking sandals back in 1748, like, you know what I mean?
I could see him moving to Timon if there was even a sniff of Biden coming.
Yeah.
Like he's known affectionately around the county as the clown from Kennedy Town because of his love for JFK.
Yeah.
He's
Biden's also Catholic, so he's one of us, like, you know.
He ain't no Jaffa.
You know what I mean? Like he's welcome, like, you know.
Bring him on over.
I'm only joking. Catholic brothers. We're all going to the ground eventually.
Exactly.
Exactly. If it even matters to you anymore.
Yeah. But Joe's fucking tight with the Pope though, man. You know what I mean?
Is he?
He is, by God he is, sure. His first phone call was to the Pope, wasn't it?
Oh, Jesus.
I often wonder that because I don't think the Pope speaks English. I don't know how that happened. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like
¿Dónde estás, American president?
It's just Joe. You're going, sorry, lad, I can't wait to work with you, but I can't fucking understand you.
Can't get a word you're saying there now.
Sorry, there. I tell you, I'll go to the Oval Office there now and get a better signal.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, lovely. Yeah, so we'll look forward to seeing Joe. If you're listening, we look forward to seeing you.
Yeah. We get a podcast, Joe. You come here. We knew.
Yeah.
We knew your.
Yeah.
We knew the roasts from the one there a while ago.
Yeah. Email at theopinionatedpod@gmail.com.
There you go.
Can
We'll
I?
set it up.
Can I bring us into the next segue, because I've been working on this for the last since the news broke.
Ooh.
Should we inject a bit of good news into the podcast?
By all means, Tommy.
You get that now? Inject a bit of good news.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see what you did there. Clever one you are.
Wow.
Yeah, we're soon to be pumped with the cure, people.
Yeah. Yeah, geez, I forgot about that. That's probably the biggest headline we should have. probably should have led with that.
The cure is back.
Yeah.
The cure is on its way.
Yeah. So what do you think?
Yeah. If it turns out to be as good as they're saying, then I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it getting back to normal. Like
90% effective.
Yeah, that's it. Like that's a lot.
I take those odds, to be fair, at this stage.
90% is better than no percent.
Yeah. Like if they had to say like 30%, they would have went fair enough. Harshed into me here, like we give it a go. Like, but 90%, I'm on the ball with 90. Like.
Lash it out there now. Yeah, the EU have put in for 300 million vaccines, isn't it?
Yeah, we get 1% of that here.
Yeah,
brilliant
If
negotiation.
even isn't it like 2 million we're getting? I think
something like that. Yeah.
Ah, yeah, I'll take that.
Do a few of us anyway. It's actually,
who will get one though? Who's going to get priority? Like this is.
You'd have to go to the nursing homes first, though. They've had it bad enough. Like, you know what I mean.
But then you see there'd be some sort of like moral thing here, like they've lived a happy life. They're 70 odd now. Not saying that they don't deserve to have it, but then there's like younger people that deserve to have it as well. So that could be conflicting. I'm just saying.
I can't
help but think you're biased there, Matthew.
We just hang a bag of it out of Spire in Dublin, and whoever the upper can have it. Like.
Survival of the fittest.
Battle Royale and fucking O'Connell Street. Good Jesus, imagine the scenes. It's almost like the Gaza Strip anyway, as it is. It doesn't need to get more fucking terrorized.
I just have an image of like a white plastic bag hanging from the top of the Spire and people clambering around trying to get to it, like full of needles. Like. Probably, but then again, it's on O'Connell Street. Like, it probably wouldn't be far off.
It has to be kicked. It has to be kicked off on Michael League. It's just like blow a horn or something, and it'll run in the Spire like.
He's standing on O'Connell Bridge with the bag, just lob lifting.
Where are we dropping, boys?
Or else just have it as like a prize on like Ireland's Fittest Family or something like that. Like whoever proves themselves worthy, like, can have the vaccine.
Oh God!
It's actually It's actually like the breakthrough came from a son and a daughter. I don't know how to actually phrase this. I've been struggling with it all week. But the man, just a man and woman came up with the vaccine, and they're husband and wife. But both of those are children of Turkish immigrants, different Turkish immigrants living in Germany. So like, it's probably the worst nightmare for Britain when you think about it. It's like immigrant Germans are actually biggest breakthrough in science that's going to be manufactured in Belgium. Like, and then Nigel Farage is there going on immigrants out, like, when you realise, sorry, what?
Wait a minute. Hold up, I retract my statement.
Yeah. The minute I heard it was Germans, I said, yeah, I'll take it, no bother. Germans will never send us wrong, just won't.
Well,
no, but like not now. I'm convinced the Germans. No, we're all right. Germans to changed. We're okay.
But he was an Austrian, but then again,
yeah, he was. He was a bit of a weirdo as well. Like,
heard he was really shit at art.
And fighting in World War One.
Oh, stop! Yeah. Did you hear though I don't know how, like, what the the extent of this plan is. But I was talking to one of my tin hat pals who's over in Manchester at the minute, and apparently when anyone will get the vaccine, there'll be like some form of like tick that will be displayed on your passport. And like there is an element of like conspiracy there that like there will be some sort of data tracking there, that you could be tracked, like where you're going and stuff. Because like surely if there's going to be a tick on it, whether it be like electronically put on the physical passport, or like if it's stamped, I wouldn't be so kind of cautious. But if it's actually being digitally put onto it, that sounds sketchy. Like how that like they definitely have some sort of like plan of like, find where is Matthew going there now on a Sunday evening. He never leaves his house. Like, you know, well, I think this is Britain now, but I'm not sure what the wider plan is. But I thought it was quite an interesting conspiracy. I don't think it's too far gone. Insanity.
To be fair though, they can fucking track me all they want. I can't keep living like this, like, you know what I mean?
No, I can't wait for a gig, like just any gig.
God,
I just
a gig in someone's shed now. I take that. Like,
I don't care if the Chinese know I'm in the 3 Arena, like.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even me and you, Tom, like we have the Who. Like we were supposed to go see him in March this year, and it's put off to March 2021. And now, even still, like we thought then when it was put off, oh God, sure, it will be well over this by then. Now we're hitting November, and we're still not even fully sure, like, you know. So
yeah,
that's also worrying and a little bit disheartening at the same time. But that bit of the good news that hopefully, like Martin said, that they hope to roll them out by mid 2021.
Coming soon.
So we might as well say 2022 then, because they're not going to be able to fucking sort that out.
We do things a bit slow over here.
And the British were like saying, "Oh, the 1st of December." I was like, "Okay, chill out, man." You know what I mean? Like,
Jesus.
Yeah.
Like we're in the middle of November at the minute, like.
Yeah, let's not make a fuck of it.
Steady on, old chap.
Yeah. Although to be fair, seeing them get first might be a good idea. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
Dominic Cummings should get first. See, if his eyesight improves.
Exactly.
He's gone now, so he can relax. Well,
yeah,
a little bit.
At home.
He's working from home until December, though, apparently.
Yeah.
Which is Tory language for we sacked him, but we can't. We're not brave enough to say it. Like, you know.
Is his home anywhere near Silverstone, where he can just do a few spins around the track or something, like to keep him occupied?
Do his eye test on fucking roller coasters.
This week on Top Gear, Dominic Cummings breaks land speed records in a Mini Cooper.
It's just him and he got power.
Feel the power.
Yeah, good old Dominic, boy. He had burst by the balls there for a while, didn't he?
By the gonads.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now he's gone. So.
Yeah. Well.
Totally.
See, you see, there's like a downside to this now, is because we always used to know that every morning Dominic Cummings went into Downing Street, but now we don't know where Dominic Cummings is on a daily basis or what he's doing. So, like, the last time didn't he try to set up like a Russian airline or something, like before he came? Like, he was like integral in setting up some Russian airline. So what the fuck's he going to be doing now? Like,
who knows? Who wants to know?
He's some sketchy character, like, in all fairness.
Yeah, he's an oddball. Sorry, he's an oddball.
I think you picked it up there. You're all right, Tom. So yeah, do you just want a curveball?
Aye, sure, go on. Fire away. It's been a while.
Been a while, already, a couple of weeks. Right, so the topic this week, the curveball topic, is about student nurses. Right, there's this thing that's been going around for, it's not a new thing around, but it's been going around for a good few years. It's regards student nurses being paid when they're on placement. Do you agree with it? And if you do, should it be across all healthcare staff or all healthcare students?
you want to take this, Tom, first, or will I go ahead?
Oh, yeah, this is tough. I would say. I
No,
would
when I say
say.
all students, I mean like social care. I mean paramedics. I mean fucking anybody that has anything to do with healthcare or care
Yeah.
that would fall in under the HSE.
Ordinarily, I would be slightly like apprehensive about doing it. Do you know what I mean? But this year, and the fact that student nurses and of all types came to our rescue, and our hospitals were flooding with like COVID cases. Yeah, I do. I think so. I think if you're going to make like appeals to try and get nurses into hospitals in like a deadly pandemic, you probably should pay them. You know.
Yeah,
Not so
Yeah.
sure about. I'm not so sure about Northern Times though, because it is like your chosen course. So that's like me going to a library and asking to get paid. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah. Like I'll just say as well. Student nurses and midwives, they're paid fully in their 4th year of placement, but their 4th year is entirely placement.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, then,
That
yeah.
happens regardless. But 1st year, 2nd, and 3rd year, they're not paid for placement. Matthew, what do you think?
Well, I've been hearing a lot of discussion on this because my own sister is a student nurse at the minute, and so she's not too happy with it. Now she's not in the hospitals as of yet. She's going back on placement in January, but I think definitely in the current scheme of things, that to not pay them is almost a crime. Like you're robbing them of like a daily wage, because they're essentially providing a service to the hospital and to their patients, especially when they're essentially being fast tracked into healthcare assistants, which is a paid job, but they're somehow redefined as student nurses assistants, which it's kind of wrong. I think when there's sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say the dynamic has kind of shifted. It's gone from like you're going to the hospital and they're allowing you to learn, to now the hospital is begging for you to come so that we can keep people alive.
Yeah, instead of in a learning environment, you're now providing an actual service to that environment.
Yeah.
By actually working for them.
You're applying your skills rather than learning additional
Yeah,
skills.
Exactly. I think like as in terms of going across the board in normal times whenever we return to them, like I think there is a degree of space where you could say yes, they should be paid, because like it is, especially in like social care, nursing, it's a fucking tough job to do on a daily, even as a student, especially when there's a good few paid internships, like as in 4th year of student nursing and other medicine degrees, it's paid internship or paid placement. So maybe if there's going to be placements for student nurses in the like 1st to 3rd year, not like throughout the year, but just a portion of it, that maybe they get paid either like in a one-off sum, or something like that. To not pay them, I think, is a bit unjust to a degree, anyway.
Just when you were saying that there, I just kind of had like this thought of, I was just thinking, Christ, you know, if people are working like full time in normal times, so let's just forget about COVID. Like, you know, you probably can't work another job. I don't know. Would it be possible? Like, it's not, you know, feasible to study and work in a hospital.
Even going off the current situation, my sister is currently working in a nursing home here down in Carlow, but when she goes back on placement in January in Vincent's, she can't have a job because she's been in close contact with potential COVID patients or actual COVID patients. That cross-contamination would be a huge issue. Even like there's no way that a job would be feasible.
But perhaps like a I don't know how to say it, like a, you know, like the COVID payments, like the 200 or the 2 or whatever. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Have
something
some
like that,
sort of
maybe.
benefit. Definitely now, because like students need to work to afford college, especially in normal times when they'll be paying for rents, etc. Now, I'm not sure what way the cookie crumbles in normal times when you go on placement and can you have a job on the other side, because you are cross contaminating, then going back to your weekend job stocking shelves or
And it's not
doing
really
whatever you're doing.
practical though, like, is it? You know, you need fucking
No,
time to yourself as well. Like,
exactly. Especially in a high stress environment as well. That like you need a day off or two, but at the same time, can you afford to have a day off or two when, especially in Dublin now, rents, number one, are super expensive. The cost of living in Dublin is extortionate. College degrees extortionate. So like it is tough.
fucking sandwiches are extortionate, like, at this stage.
Yeah. It all boils down to a cup of coffee. Like, you know, it everything is more expensive these days. So I think, yeah, I think a one-off sum might be the solution to that. But I think in the current scheme of things, where they're actually being put into a position that's a paid position and not being paid, I think there's something seriously wrong with that. Like,
And
Yeah,
risking
like,
your life.
the reason I asked this is because my sister's a trainee nurse as well, a student nurse, and my girlfriend is she's in her 4th year of social care. So she's been working in her, what year is it? In 1st year and 3rd year, she was on placement in disability centres, daycare centres, or not daycare centre, day centres. And my sister has been in hospitals for the last. She's in 2nd year now. But in 1st year, she was in hospitals and all. But so they have been doing effectively, like, I know my girlfriend, she was doing more or less the same work as the carers who are that's probably the wrong term now, and I'm going to hear about after this. But as the people who are actually applied, she's doing the same thing. Like, if she had gone into a nursing home or something like that, she would have been. Her experience would have comprised of basically the work of a HCA, and the same with my sister. My sister does that work. She basically does the work of a HCA for no pay. And I'm sure it's across the board with all aspects of healthcare, student healthcare, or students studying healthcare. So, like, I think if it's going to come in for nurses, I think it should come in for all aspects of it across the board.
yeah, I agree.
I guess they'll just, I don't want to sound like the fucking Grinchy or anything, but like, I guess there's a certain element of, like, this is the course you've chosen. You knew that, like, you were going to go on a placement, but you know what I mean? I don't want to be fucking, like...
Yeah, like, I understand there's the idea of, like
if
it's
that,
all, it's all
do you have to,
experience.
like, pay, do you have to pay, like, you know, fucking accountants on placement then, or do you have to pay, like,
Well,
you know what I
like,
mean? Like science dudes who, like, fucking swim in shit for like 3 weeks, like, you know what I mean? You have to pay them. You know what I mean? Like,
I think though when most people think of like students going on placement, it's like a glorified TY learning experience. But I think the service that they're providing at a college level is way more substantial. Anyway,
yeah, I suppose.
definitely it's way more substantial than what a TY learning experience student would do. But
like, it's not a matter of just learning. It's you're working as well.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
my sister does 12-hour shifts in Wexford, Wexford General, isn't it? Yeah, it's Wexford or Wexford Regional. Yeah, whichever. But in Wexford Hospital, she does 12-hour shifts, like, on every second week, and then she does 8-hour shifts every other week. Like, that's more than a full-time job. Like, you know, like, all right, she can say that she's learning, but she's not just learning; she's working too. And my girlfriend is the same. Like, she's looking after people who aren't able to look after themselves, and doing effectively the same job as what people who are being paid to do, you know, as well.
But again, not being the Grinch again, but like having applied to that course. Do you get me? It's like
I know. I understand.
it's like the work is like a subsidiary of the course. So like
It's a bullet to take for the
it's
course that you're doing, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not trying to fucking rob people's money here, but like
But
I understand, like they do more work than fucking I could do, and I'm like, if I was a nurse, I'd probably be arguing for money, and that's like perfectly fine, and
Yeah.
probably would support you. But like, if you sign up, that's the kind of caveat, like, you know what I mean. To be qualified, to be a qualified vet, you're gonna have to shove your hand down a few fucking cows' arses eventually, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Jesus Christ.
do you know what I mean though? Like, like,
Yeah.
No, I do get you, and I probably would side a bit more on that on that side. Like, you did sign up for it, and that's what comes with it, and it is the experience. But the kind of
yeah, but
point
I don't want. I'm not
trying
saying
to
like, oh, you signed up for this, you have to do it. Like, it has to be
Yeah,
a bit
yeah,
of fucking leverage as well here. Like, you know what I mean? You can't
yeah,
just expect
like,
them to live on nothing. Like, you know.
yeah. Like, I mean, the point I'm really trying to get is that it shouldn't be entirely restricted to just nurses. I think it should be for healthcare staff across the board. If it was to come in for
Yeah.
for pay for students on placement.
But
still-
challenging that bite the bullet mentality, though, if there's a placement in fourth year that is going to be paid, then why not pay them year 1 to 3, or year, like, up to the last year, whatever, however long it is. Like, if there is already a placement there in place that's going to be paid, then why not pay them all the way up through it? Now, whether if the last one is the most important, so you pay them more, or you gradually raise it up, keep it the same, or whatever. I think that there is a case there, I think, in the case of nurses anyway, for them to be paid all the way up.
And I think I read something a while ago about nurses in the First World War, and it was quite similar to this fucking COVID thing we're in. Like, you know what I mean? There was a dire need for nurses, so they sent these VAD nurses from Britain. So they were Jesus.
Sorry about that.
But they weren't like fully trained nurses. They were volunteer nurses, and the common thinking was that nurses on the front line would be delighted to have these people. But then they realised that, wait, now these are getting paid not have the same qualifications as me. Do you know what I mean? So there's actually a bit of hostility there, and I think like that. You know what I mean? You could, if you're paying someone for being on placement, well, then the fellow who's there full time, like, it's probably going to be
I'm not saying now to
equal pay, like,
to equal the pay.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, to pay them something. I think it's robbing them of like them providing a service and not getting paid. I think that's blatant robbery.
I'd be up for paying them, like, but looking through the lens of
even
them
grants are something to be provided to them, because especially now, if they're going back to placement now in January and they're going to be losing a job, that they're essentially going to be unemployed while being a student. So there has to be some sort of system in place for them to cope, like, because it's going to be incredibly stressful now, going back to placement, and one, not having a substantial income, and two, probably more than likely not being financially independent because they're not making any money, and most of that money is going to go towards rent for accommodation, digs, just cost of living, food, travel expenses if you're not living in Dublin, going up and down to see your family every weekend and so on. Like, that's complicated, financially complicated, mentally complicated. I think it's mental that they're not paying them currently anyway. Something it's borderline barbaric.
Slavery.
Yeah, it's slave labor, glorified slave labor.
Yeah, like, even if it was something along the lines of the dole, or that kind of price, that kind of a wage, even, like, it's a token gesture, like, but it still helps.
Something is better than nothing.
Yeah, exactly. But again, across the board, not just one area of it, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm not entirely sure now of the system with social care and the others with cross contamination, because, like, I presume if you're going to another person's house that, like, you are essentially cross-contaminating. So would you be able to hold a job? But even still, there should be, you are at the end of the day providing a service for a hospital, for a care system, for whichever. And if you're providing a service in a capitalist state, that, yeah, you should be paid for it. To some degree, there has to be just some
you have to sneak in
incentive.
the C word there, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to, like,
coming from a resident communist.
I've had too many debates recently over fucking capitalism and all this shite. Now I'm sick of it. Sick of it. This is me putting my foot down.
Throwing in the towel, mate.
Oh yeah. No, never back down to a C word fight. Oh, that sounds really bad. No, no. A bit of debating is necessary, I think, especially now. There's a lot of issues that could be subject to debate.
Should historians get paid for the vital work we do?
Some, maybe,
No,
maybe some. But if you're going into history, like, Jesus, there's a lot of misinformation going around and a lot of romanticism these days. I think the days of reading a history book and just learning the facts are gone. There's kind of a story to be told, and to what extent then is that considered fake news and pulling away from what actually happened, rather than being realistic and saying, oh yeah, no, this is actually what happened, rather than, oh yeah, it was a summer night in Greece kind of trope.
Can I ask you something, Matthew?
Yeah, go for it.
What the fuck are you on about?
I lost you there.
Be honest, Tom, I don't know myself.
I have to say, I kind of drifted a bit there.
There's some great words there from some powerful infantry, but I have no fucking clue what you're on about.
I think only somehow I can understand what that is, and I don't even understand what that is. So, apologies to anyone listening to my absolute bullshittery. It's one of those nights.
Fantastic, love it. Yeah. So, oh well. So, do you two have any? Do you have any curveballs or anything like that?
I was watching the golf, so I just completely forgot to do a curveball. I apologize.
Well, that's fair enough, I suppose.
I kind of had a political one. I was having a bit of a discussion with one of my work colleagues today, and I kind of came up with the curveball on the spot. But do you think that it's justifiable? I think that's the right word I'm going to use for this. Yeah, justifiable that America is considered the world, like the power in control of the world, when it's so fucked up in terms of, like, corruptness. The system, the ancient,
don't hold back now, Randy.
the ancient electoral system, that, like, it's comparable to Athenian Greece, and the like, and like the fact that they're literally just murdering innocent civilians every day, and yada yada. Yeah, that's my curveball. Very rough and ready, but it is what it is.
I think it'll be dangerous to not regard them as a superpower purely because of the power that they actually do have, whether it be militarily or economically. They are quite a strong country. Now, with regards mental capacity and actual policy, like, it's a different story.
Yeah,
but I think they'd be too dangerous to not regard as that. You know, they are important in to a lot of economies and to a lot of countries, but they are also a scourge in a lot of countries too.
Jesus,
namely the Middle West. Or middle. What am I saying? Middle West.
Middle West. Well,
Middle West.
It is like the Wild West out in the Middle East.
God, Middle East.
It's high noon somewhere in the world.
Not Germany.
Oh, do I have to put my German accent again? I don't want to offend people anymore.
The Americans, they torment the far side of Holland quite much.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, the Middle East.
What are your thoughts, Tom?
Yeah, I love America. I really do. Like, I have this like fascination with the place. Like, I really do. I think they have that much mad shit going on at one time. Like, you know what I mean? So the power they have, I think, we've always looked to the Americans. Like, even this, and we mentioned it last week. Like, this election caused such a stir in almost every country in the world. Like, so I don't even know if it's like the power they have or the power we give them. Like, but yeah, I think they should have the power. I think they're weird people, but they're fucking great. Like, you know what I mean? They are. There's a lot of good things come out of America, apart from Donald Trump. Like, but a lot of good things too.
Yeah, I'm gonna slightly change the question. So, do you think there should be a world hierarchy then? If you're on the fence on America being number one or any nation being number one, compared to any other country?
Oh, no, I think
because this is the world we're living in at the minute. There is a fairly well defined hierarchical system, like we have indexes to even show who has what and so on. Like,
I think it's okay, like the way it is. I can't see not okay the way it is. All right, but like,
I was gonna go. Ooh.
No, but like I can't. I don't know. Like, how do you rank? Like, how would your?
But is there a need to rank? Should we
No,
kind of
but
unite
like, say
as one and try and solve the world's problems rather than?
So what you're basically saying is give the UN guns, like, and make them a little more powerful.
No.
You don't want to
solve problems.
No, but like you're making the UN more powerful then. So a leading world hierarchy, say.
No,
you want
not
people
like a world authority. Is that what you're saying?
Are you wanting people to like buy into this, or just wake up some morning and there's just like some lad from an unknown country who's now head of the world, like, or
No. I'm saying there should be no world hierarchy.
No world hierarchy.
There shouldn't be like a kind of you can compare like the US to any other country in the world because one has A, the other has B, or A has A and B doesn't have A or whatever.
But would you not need like an overarching authority then to make sure no hierarchy developed?
Yeah, I suppose there'd have to be like some sort of Senate or something. We all know how Senates have gone in Star Wars and the like, but it's beyond my mental capacity how to work this out. Like, Jesus, I'm only a fucking.
You just want us all to turn into hippies then, basically.
I'm kind of
fill nuclear bombs with 7-Up and bubble bath. Like,
I suppose that's the kind of notion I'm giving off. I suppose, but like
baking soda and vinegar.
Yeah.
That was very dismissive there.
Jesus, sorry, Matthew.
Yeah, just because we don't sign up to your fucking non-authoritarian.
I'm not being authoritarian. I'm just suggesting a rather social thing here. But like, no, I don't know. It seems when you put something in a hierarchical system that there's going to be people left behind, and like I think I brought this up in the capitalism versus communism or socialism curveball we had a while back. Like that. There is people being left behind now, and that is there a way to bring them into the fold rather than now? Obviously, some have their issues that need to be attended to politically, even like environmentally. There's climate change is a big problem in most countries, and like droughts and pandemics, etc., famines. So. Everyone has their problems, but like, who's actually going to solve them if they can't solve them themselves? Like, they need help. So why should we not unite to a degree? I don't know. Should it be like top down, like Northern Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere, and then have like two separate ones? I don't know. I'm just surmising here, but I think it'll be somewhat positive anyway, definitely, to strengthen the UN. The UN is incredibly weak. I don't care if anyone has opinions saying that the UN is strong. They're fucking talking out their arse. I'm sorry.
It's a toothless tiger, as we have mentioned many times
Yeah.
these days.
Yeah, no, it's a glorified League of Nations. Let's be honest. Yeah, I think it needs some major improvement.
Just on that hierarchy conversation, I was talking to a friend of mine there the other day, and he was telling me about an article that he had read, and they were basically just talking about how Ireland is more or less a mini superpower. Now, bear with me on this.
I know, yeah, I know.
I laughed.
I saw this thing actually.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
But if you think about it, they wouldn't be far off. You know, economically, we punch well above our weight. Politically,
unsustainably, though.
Yeah, like, brown envelopes and the like.
But like, if you think about it, like I know I have no figures to back it up, but apparently the amount of foreign investment that Ireland brings in for a nation of less than about 5 million people, it's phenomenal. And then the amount of investment Irish companies put in, even the US, it's fucking staggering. Apparently, like the Irish diaspora around the world, like it's not, Ireland isn't just a nation of 5 million people. It's also the people who are in other countries who identify as Irish too.
Look at Biden, sure.
Look at Biden. Biden isn't is the new American president, like, and he identifies as Irish, like
strongly sympathetic to us, like.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
There you go. Like so, I'd imagine rather than just having 5 million people, I'd say there's more like 200 million people. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You know, I think Ireland. It would be an argument to say that Ireland is a superpower, a mini superpower.
Oh, absolutely. I think we're punching, as Tom said, far beyond our weight. And it's going and flying really under the radar. Yeah, when you actually like highlight it, we don't actually know how lucky we are, like how much investment we get and how much investments we're giving out to other companies to come in and provide jobs and services and whatever. Like we do have a lot to be thankful for, I think.
Yeah, I think we're third highest in the world for standard of living. You know, a country as a whole, like it's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, and our passport is like one of the most powerful as well, isn't it?
Yeah, we can get into most amount of countries, I think, in the world with an Irish passport.
Yeah,
which is crazy too.
It's scary to say Ireland is a superpower, isn't it? Just like
that's an ocean on top of an ocean there. Like. Imagine Micheál Martin now coming out in the morning saying Ireland's a superpower. Oh my God, his ego will be blown up.
We're going to work on getting some nuclear arsenal to go with our one plane and three boats. So
yeah, the two coaches can work at that.
Submarines that we have are just like old fucking gas cylinders. Like,
Having said that, though, the man who invented the submarine was an Irishman.
Yeah,
there you go.
The man who founded the American Navy was an Irishman from Wexford, no less.
John Barry. Designed the White House was an Irishman, wasn't he?
Irishman also.
Yeah.
The fella who took the famous El Che Guevara photo was apparently from Galway.
He was. And
he didn't copyright it.
Going out.
He didn't copyright it too, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Ireland has an awful lot of influence on the world. And a lot more influence than we give it credit for.
Yeah.
So maybe we are a superpower.
I don't know what we are. We're a sound bunch of lads.
That's it.
And on that note.
Yeah.
Have you any more to talk about?
Not really.
No, not really.
That's all right. Fair enough. So.
I think that's it.
Anyone watching the Masters by any chance?
No, actually.
Haven't dipped into golf now. Golf isn't my forte. I'd rather watch paint dry.
We won't be having an opinionated podcast golf outing anytime soon. Then I think.
I don't really like a golf gate anyway from the last couple of months.
Golf is class. It's just played by some pricks.
I know. To be fair, I do like playing pitch and putt. Pitch and putt. I can't hack a bit of pitch and putt.
Go away. Can we delete that off the passport?
Am I casual? Am I what a golf
Oh.
fan would call a casual?
Imagine not loving that feeling of staring down a par 5. You have absolutely no chance of reaching with a driver you don't know how to handle, or with a ball that's probably not going to go anywhere, and just weighing into it like.
You'll never get that feeling of watching the bird car.
Yeah. It's the greatest feeling in the world, picking up an 8-iron and just thinking this is going in the hole, and then hitting a river that's like 20 feet to the left. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, or that feeling of a ball curling off into a ditch.
Yeah, or hitting a manhole cover when you thought it was a car. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah. The clatter off it, like.
My ball just absolutely rebounded off a manhole cover right by some cars and landed on the green.
Oh, lovely.
Good days.
Gas.
Yeah, so there we go. Yeah. So don't forget about enter the competition. Being with a chance to win that mug. It'll be on all our it'll be on the Opinionated Podcast social.
We're a team, Jack. Okay.
Sorry, it's not Jack's Opinionated Podcast. I forgot.
There's no authority here. It's a triumvirate, as we established from the offset.
Yeah, the triumvirate. Yeah.
I am well impressed with these mugs, I have to say.
Oh, fuck's sake, I keep headbutting the microphone. Yeah, they are pretty good. I'm really happy with how it turned out now.
Should we wait till we take a picture? I'll take a picture of us all holding it up.
Hold on, I'll can you yeah, anyway.
What are you doing?
I don't know what my phone's gonna die also, so goodbye.
We'll leave it at that. So yeah, so enter the competition. Also, if you haven't donated already to our Movember page, please do. We've already received a load of support, and it's great to see our Ronnies are coming along pretty well.
Slowly but surely. You still can't see mine, but it's there, I swear.
I was about to say, Matt, you had you shaved.
No, it's still growing. It's taking its time.
It's there, but it's on the way.
Coming soon.
Yeah, so thanks a million to everybody who has supported us so far. It is a really worthy cause. And yeah, don't forget to. Well. Yeah, really are.
We're over the 60k anyway. I think I updated today. There we're on, I think, 80 kilometers now. So
pretty good.
I'd say we could hit the 180 by the end of the month.
Sorry, I had to do it.
Get in, my son.
Right, I'm gonna have to have a cup of tea in my new Opinionated Podcast mug, which you too could have.
Hey, I'm gonna have a nice decaf coffee.
Do it proper. Don't do it at all.
Well, it is 9 o'clock at night, so.
Still, there's no excuse for that nonsense.
You like that ad? Remember that? Is it that ad for like McDonald's or something? Man's like, a flat white for you, Barry. tea for you.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Like, share, subscribe, do all that old stuff, and we'll see you next week.
Of course, adios.